So there's this running joke in the Asian community that when a non-Asian person speaks an Asian language, Asian people are so impressed. But when we speak English, like when an Asian person speaks English, no one seems to care. And this is actually not that true though. If you were to travel to non-touristy areas in Asia and you see a Westerner, this does happen. One time I was at a train station in Shenyang, China, and there was an American couple with a local tour guide with them. And the local tour guide comes up to me and says, 你可以跟他们换位子吗? Can you switch seats with them? And I just looked over to the American couple and I was like, oh, it's no problem. I'm happy to switch seats with you. And they were like, what? You speak English? Oh, yes, I speak a good English. Oh my God, I'm like xiaoman and flushing. And another time, I was at a Mossburger, a Mosubaga in Fukuoka, which we desperately need here. And there was a British family, they might have been Australian, who looked like they were struggling ordering. And I was like, oh, hey, do you need me to help you order? And they were like, oh, that's wonderful. You speak English? And I was like, yes, I speak English, just not your kind of English. And that's a joke. Okay, that is a joke. Are we not allowed to joke in 2023? I know that English originated over there. Okay, I know that water을 started everything. But here is something that I think some people are misinterpreting a little bit because they see sort of this kind of behavior from Asian people reacting to foreigners speaking their language and think that like, oh, it's because Asian people love foreigners, especially white foreigners. They just bow down at the sight of John Smith. And I'm like, no, see, you guys don't understand Asian people at all. The one thing that we don't really like to say out loud because we don't really want this to be widely known is that Chinese people will always take care of Chinese people. And some will construe this as racism, xenophobia. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we are a collectivist society. And so we take care of our own. And this is pretty much true for most Asian cultures. So seeing a foreigner speak an Asian language, yeah, like some of it will come from a place of gratitude, like thank you for putting in the time to learn our language. But a lot of it is also just like an optical illusion. Like, whoa, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing are two different things. I have an Asian friend who lives about an hour away from Montreal in Laval, and there aren't a lot of Asian people there. And he grew up there and he still lives there. Until this day, he's still being complimented on his French. Like, oh, ton français, très bien. And it irritates the fuck out of him because he's like, I live here. And this is where I feel for the non-Asian expats and immigrants living in Asia, because at first you're like, oh, you feel kind of cool, right? Like, ooh, all these people are praising me and stuff. And then eventually you live there for a few years and you're still getting the same compliments. And you start to realize that behind that compliment is a sharp reminder that you are an outsider.